Hey guys, welcome back to Flying in Space with Planet Head. Uh, might be a longer video today like it was yesterday. I have no idea. Some things have come up and I wanted to kind of go over what happened yesterday. All good things. Um, but had some stuff, so I thought I'd do a daily video. It is around noon my time right now, and football's about to start. And then my Eagles play tonight against the Green Bay Packers, so I don't know how much gameplay or video making I'll make. So I'll probably post this video uh, sometime this evening. Um, Long story short, if you didn't catch, well, couple things. I got into a PvP fight yesterday that I freaked out on at the end of the video, which was kind of cool. um, also, I am in a different part of Iridia right now, and I want to explain that part of it. And thirdly, one of the guys in a mail uh, sent to me wondering if I would be interested in taking my little two-man corp and allying with his little corp. And before I even start down that road at all, I wanted to do a kind of mashup of what you would. I'm going to research while I'm flying, creating an alliance because I'm sure people have thought about that because it's very easy to create a corporation in Eve, but I remember back in the day when I used to play, I was thinking about creating an alliance or something like that, and there wasn't a whole lot of information on that. I honestly don't know how easy it is to get information now, um, or the costs or things, so I thought I would just do that live to see if it is easy to learn how to do it or if you got to do that. So that'll probably be near the end or while I'm flying. To explain to you where I'm at right now, I am in. Oh, wait, before I do that. So, long story short, if you want to check it out, the first part is the PBV fight that I got into yesterday. I won. Let's see here. If you want to check it out, this was one of the longer videos I've ever made because it wasn't just the fight itself. I really did not expect to be able to do any PvP in this fight. Um, it was, let me just see here. If you want to check it out, it's yesterday's video. I've started putting the episode date on there in US form. I know that other parts of the world they do it in a different form. But it was, come on, here we go. You're doing it. I'm just trying to update there. Okay. Episode Living in Lowsec, episode 11/26/22. So November 26/22. If you notice, I started notating these with the dates on here. Um, I'll talk about that here in a second. Why I'm doing that in a way. And I kept myself from not doing that yesterday. But the video was actually really great. A lot of stuff I had not expected. I got home from a long week of work. And if you know what I've been trying to do recently, I moved out to Iridia after living in um, faction warfare Lowsec, trying to build ships there like I had out in other areas. And it was just too busy to shoot things and melt their stuff down. So the goal was to move out here to Iridia and basically live in different parts of it. Here's Iridia here. Um, right now I'm hanging out in this area right here. And then just across into the other region, I'm doing my um, blueprints, and we'll be doing that here in a little bit. Um, but the idea was to skill up and then start building with the ill-gotten gains I got from killing off NPC characters, building my own cheap ships that if I found a wormhole toward warfare space, I could then have some ships set up and ready to roll and maybe go get some practice and die a lot because I'm not very good at PvP. And I'll try to do this quickly because you can go watch the video. Long story short, I got really lucky yesterday. First off, I had built a ship before earlier, but hadn't fitted one out. It was a Punisher. Uh, I went out and the very first wormhole I found took me to right outside of faction warfare space. It was literally 2 jumps outside of faction warfare space. So I jumped right back over and I scavenge fit a Punisher just to go do it. And my goal was to build an armor tanked Punisher with projectile weapons on it so that I could switch out my ammo. Now that's normally not a normal thing. The idea was the armor fit was so that I could get to live a little bit longer before I died, so I could practice some of the things. Uh, and then the second part was to do the projectile side so I can switch between EMP and fusion. Because if you use lasers, you're only able to do mostly thermal and EMP damage. I could go missiles, but I'm not set up that way. Hold on. I'm trying to get through this real quick so I can get to the fun part of today. But if you want to check it out, I was able to fly over, and then I also wanted to show how long it takes sometimes to find a PvP fight, even if you're in faction warfare space. This was a Saturday night, which should be busy, and I think I ended up jumping at least like 10 jumps just to find one fight. In that fight, I did pretty well. I did everything I wanted to. I was pretty much to the point where I had been scrammed, warp scrambled, and I wasn't getting away, but I was pinging him down, but he was going to win the fight. I did forget to overheat my weapons, but afterward I did look at his fit and I probably still would have died, but I have to work on that and get better at it. Probably a couple of other things I didn't do correctly. But as I was fighting him and he had gotten into my armor and he was ticking down on that one, he was repairing his shields. He actually had a shield and an armor repair on his ship. Um, Another guy flew in, and I thought when that guy flew in that was his buddy, and he had locked me down, and his buddy was going to kill him. And I think the other guy was flying a coercer or something like that. It was a destroyer. Turned out the other guy shot at him and killed him, and I got away. But I was on the kill mill. I didn't get the kill, even though I did 67% of the damage on the guy. But I would not have won because it was that extra damage that put him over his repair amount. Long story short, I freaked out. I had a lot of fun. Yesterday's video was really all about how I'm trying to play right now, and it's going to be a long time before I'm able to have a session that was that productive and lucky and fun, because I got lucky finding the wormhole, I got lucky having the ship set aside, and I got lucky having another guy fly in, and I got away. But that was great. So if you want to see a great day, check out the Living in Lowsec 11 26 22. It is a long video. Feel free to skip through it if you want to. So, enough of that. Um, that was just my remembrances. Um, so, where am I at today? And we're going to get out and we're going to start flying because why not? Um, I have traveled. I'll show you here on the map. There it is, Iridia. I am currently in Ferme. Firne. Firme or Firne? Can't know. But I'm right here. Normally I hang out in this area. I flew over to this area. Why did I fly here? Because I wanted to see security class. Nope, that's not what I want. Sovereignty, security. There we go. Let me just make sure I'm not about to die. Let's warp to my safe spot. Warp, warp, warp. There we go. Okay, now I don't have to pay as much attention. Um, Long story short, I'm here. Now, the reason why I flew over here with my Thrasher, I actually traveled all the way through over to here, and there were people in every one of these systems, which was kind of strange. Notice the security status is a 0.1 versus over here is a 0.3. I wanted to see if this area, what the difference was with the rats and the belt, and there was a major difference. So I flew my Thrasher over here, and um, I did one belt right here. Let me just show you here the number of jumps in the last 24 hours. Well, and I did one belt here, and I ran right into a battleship. In Malna here, I don't need to click on that. Where I normally Malna and Shikasi and these things here, earlier in the day, I had done, I'll just show you how many belts there are, all 9 of the belts in Malta and didn't run into one battleship the whole time. In Filma, the first asteroid belt I went to had a battleship, and I was able to kill something. Still fine. Actually, I need to dock up real quick because I want to show you something real quick, and then I'll be on my way. What I'm planning on doing, at least for the short term. Um, so where's my map? Where's my map? Where's my map? The only problem with here, and I'll show you the next part of it, is the number of jumps in the last 24 hours. This is a fairly trafficked area. Even though I killed something in the first asteroid belt that I went to, it took me people were coming in and out, and I had to keep an eye on my directional scanning, and I had to jump in and out back and forth to scan and get the loot that was there. And then this map here shows the number of jumps per system. Notice in bottleneck areas, you have a lot more jumps. And I use this map all the time to figure out where I want to go. Now, if you notice over here in Paraus, there's very few jumps. This is 53 jumps in 24 hours. Same thing with like Malna over here, 131. What you do is divide that by 24 and then divide it by 2, especially with Paraus because you got to go in and out. That's 2 jumps. So the number of people that come through here is a lot less. Here, I constantly had people coming in and out, so I had to be careful. I then went over to Paraus and ran through the belts that were there, and I think I ran into like 4 battleships and other things to kill. What does that do? It does a couple of things for my ratting and building things. Battleships drop larger items, which melt down for more material. Battleships are worth more bounty. The only thing is, they're obviously bigger and stronger. They take a little bit longer to kill. Um, and also, when you salvage them, you get more stuff. Uh, the other part being, you have to have something that can haul that stuff. And if I'm here, I could run out of ammo. So I need to find a spot that I can build ammo at, that sort of thing. So part of it is to fly over here and see who lives here, um, and see how often they're around. Because even though the number of jumps are on the map, there could be a group of people who are just living in this system and they never jump out. They're just farming it all the time and protecting their system. So that could be another thing that you want to keep. So you want to hang out in an area before you really make a big move. Um, Let me give you an example of something like that. Like right here, notice how this whole constellation right here is set aside. If I remember correctly, there is a large alliance that lives right down here that you're not going to be able to move to. So you don't know until you go over and hang out. So that's why I'm here right now. Um, I have not checked out the rest of this. I'm actually going to be flying back over to Malna to pick up some blueprints and take them over to research. But I may make one of these systems my second spot in Iridia, or even over here. There were a decent number of people here, and this is a pretty much a pass-through area. Because if you're trying to go to this constellation, you got to fly this way. If you're trying to go to any other part in Iridia, you have to fly down through Camilla. So that's what I'm doing right now. Now, to start it off, I killed a couple battleships. And what I'm going to do is in this station that I'm in right now, for the time being, until I figure out exactly what I do, I'm going to start leaving um, items here that I'm not going to melt down that I might want to use in the future in battle cruisers or battleships. This might be my larger shipbuilding area. I don't know. Notice how there's a few people that are popping in here right now. They're probably just passing through. But like I said before, I'm just trying this out for a little while, see how it goes. I'm going to go back and forth, and I can make some good ISK off this. Um, all this other junk I'm taking with me because I really don't have much use for it here. And I was able to get a decent amount of salvage. There we go. So that's all right. So let's get on back. I've got my directional set to Malna, and as I'm flying there, I'll try to keep an eye out. Um, doo, doo, doo. Just kind of get moving. Okay, nobody's in system. Good, good, good. And I don't really need my notepad out right now because I'm not doing any scanning. Let's go ahead and jump. Now, the nice part is I'm flying a fairly cheap ship that I built myself, so I don't really have to worry so much about dying going this way. I get a little bit scared sometimes with my cheetah, even though it's really hard to find me, catch me. But that's one that I actually did buy. I didn't build the cheetah. I don't have the ability to build a Tech 2 ship. So as I'm flying and going toward Malno, what I'd like to do, just jump through this system, um, is pull up my web browser and see if I can research alliances. Because, like I said, corporations are easy to make, and you can actually Eve actually has sponsored sites. But I'm surprised. I'd be surprised if Eve University hasn't come up with their own. Um, ooh, let's go to my safe spot. So you're not going to see me there. What I'm going to do here is I'm just going to pull up channel overview, go into Google, and I'm going to try Eve Online Alliances. Um, Eve Online Making an Alliance. There we go. Okay. Well, right off the bat here it says forming an alliance costs 1 billion ISK. So you got to have 1 billion ISK lying around that you're never going to use again. That's just to form it. Not saying there is anything wrong with it. You want to grow a group of people. Um, sorry, I'm going to be warping here on the side here. And there is an alliance maintenance bill which must be paid monthly, which is 2 million is for each corporations in the alliance. So an alliance of 20 corporations would be 40 million ISK per month in maintenance costs. The million ISK really isn't a huge deal if you are, in my mind, um, if you've got these corporations and they're paying in. Because pretty much, if you've been playing this for a while, you can make 40 million ISK in a day just as one character, not even as a corporation or something like that. Okay, nobody's there. I'm going to keep jumping. Requires Megacorp Management 5. So that is a big uh, thing. And then alpha characters can't do it. The price is 10 million ISK. So it looks like this costs 10 million is to buy as a skill. So you have to have somebody who's going to do that. Um, Eve University Alliances, Eve University Wiki. Cool, cool, cool. Let's see what they've got here. An alliance is a group of corporations, obviously. Multiple corporations together are able to form an alliance such as to hold sovereignty. Cool. Forming an alliance costs 1 billion ISK, paid monthly, 2 million, that's there. Alliance maintenance bill is taken from the corporation wallet of the executor corporation and can be set up to be paid each month. So I was part of an alliance 10 years ago, or 8 or 10, whatever years it was. I lose track of time when I get old. I got a bunch of people in this system and not paying attention. Gotta be a little bit more careful there. I'm just flying. I'm not even paying attention down here. This is why you shouldn't be worried so much about flying around in Lowsec. You can die, but I used to be deathly afraid of it. Now I'm not even paying attention. Now, if you're doing what I'm doing, fly in a ship that you can replace. Um, so a big one here is you have to have the skill at level 5, so that would take a little while. We're going to check that out here in a minute. Once I get to my spot and dock up, I'll bring up Eve again, find out how long that would take. And then make a Corp Management 5. And then A CEO with is required to form, aha, Empire Control 5. So you need Megacorp Management 5 and Empire Control 5 is required to form an alliance. So I see that right there. Thank you, Eve University. So here's the other part too. You have to be willing to set aside your other things that you're doing with your character to skill these up or blow the skill points that you've been saving up for a while to get close on these. We're going to find out how much that's going to be. Joining an alliance. That's cool. Alliance administration. Each alliance has an executor corporation who deal with administration of the alliance. To be an executor, the corporation must have the support of CEOs of at least 50% of the member corporations to support. The executive corporation, the CEO, must go to the corporation window, then the alliance and the members tab, and select the member corporation list and declare support. Interesting. The executor corporation will be displayed. The executor corporation is responsible for paying the alliance maintenance bill, and if ever unpaid, the alliance will be closed the following downtime. It is therefore extremely important to ensure, I need to jump here. I'm stupid. Extremely important to ensure this bill is paid. It can be set up to be paid automatically. Cool. Alliance description can be altered under there. Alliance standings can only be set by the executor corporation. Um, they can be seen in a. Okay, a great bunch of information there. So, any of you guys who have thought about creating your own corporation, here's my initial thoughts without thinking about it too much. Hold on one second. There is a large money and time investment in doing this. I'm going to go through that real quick. Obviously, you've got your 1 billion ISK cost. Now, let's say my friend here who invited me to join an alliance, which I'm definitely up for at some point in time. But obviously we don't have the skills and stuff right now. If you did it with two corporations, obviously down the road you might be thinking about bringing in other corporations. But if you did it with two corporations, in reality you'd want to do it with three because you would want to create a third corporation, put a CEO in there, and have that be your main corporation who controlled the alliance. So you're going to be paying the 1 billion plus the 2 million ISK for each corporation per month. So you're talking 6 million ISK per month. The 6 million isn't that big a deal. Must be paid 2 million ISK each corporation in the alliance. Okay, so that'd be 6 million. So 1.006 million ISK, billion ISK to get it up and running. The second part is right here, your megacorp management. You're going to have to have level 5 and then empire control. Let's get to that here in a second. I'm going to pull back up Eve and look at those skills because there's going to be prerequisites for those as well, I'm betting. I'm sure you've got to get corporation level 3 to 5, whatever those other ones are. So we'll figure that out here in a second. The third part, and this is the outside. Before you even, I'm just running, I was actually thinking about this prior to making the video. I think you want to figure out what your your alliance to be. Is it going to be sovereignty holding? Is it going to be a loose grouping of different corporations that just kind of work together and talk amongst each other? Could you just do that with a corporation? Or do you want to do it in a way that people can have their own spots? Um, and then how are you going to run? And then how are you going to run that alliance? Keeping it small between a couple of corporations would make it easy, but if you do grow, how do you collect the money for the fees? How do you do that sort of thing? Um, Could you bring on consultants or people from other alliances? Yes, but that also opens you up to possibly groups infiltrating your alliance. See where I'm going with this? There's a ton involved. It's not just like right now I can go out, create a character, and tomorrow skill up and start a corporation. An alliance is a lot more invested, but a lot more fulfilling if you're going to play this long term and have goals. So I think number one, you got to figure out what you want to do, why the alliance is around. Number two, how are you going to run it? And number three, who do you invite to do it with? And then once you figure out that you want those three are worthwhile, then you start worrying about this part here, which Megacorp Management. I'm going to pull this down, whoop, and pull this back up. Whoop. Um, and let's look at the skills. And this will be the end of the video because I talked a lot last night and I've just talked a lot right now. I want to take a quick look at the skills and we'll see what goes on there. Skills. So let's say Mega Corp. Megacorp Management. Okay. Show. Well, first off, let's it's gonna find that's not too expensive. That's 520,000 ISK that I could just buy and inject. But what are the requirements for Megacorp Management? Show info. And there's that other one that I want to check out too. So this allows you to have up to 100 members um, per skill level. And you have to have corporation level 5. So 6 days, 6.5 days worth of training there. Oh, that's not too bad. So as soon as you were to get that, then you would do the mega course. So you're talking basically 6 days worth of training there. And then uh, Empire Control. I think that's the other one that I needed. Um, and that needs your Megacorp Management Corporation Minutes. So that's, there it is. So Empire Control, 21 days, and then 6 days. So you're talking about a 30, roughly a 30-day train that you're not going to be able to train anything else with the character that you assign to this. So that's important. Uh, Maybe the best thing to do, like I have right now, is I have my two other characters, and I'm only skilling on one character right now. To do this quickly, now I don't have any implants on my character. You want to put the right implants in so it can speed up the process. Set it off aside on a secondary character with possibly maybe you plex out a multi training where you train a second character. So you can still have fun with your current character and keep skilling up. Because if you notice over here, I still got 72 days to get what I want to do as far as my fighting character. So I think you definitely have to set up a second character that can skill. It can't be an alpha because alliances can't be controlled by an alpha, but you could set aside an alpha character on a separate account and let him, well, he could only skill up corporation level 1, so that wouldn't do any good. Okay, so that wouldn't do any good there. It would have to be an Omega character. Then you'd also have to set aside a separate corporation. Not saying this can't be done. Obviously, people have done it. You need to know what you want to do beforehand. So we're cool there. Now the Empire Control 5 is required to form an alliance. That's what this says here. Let me just show you here. It says requires Megacorp level 5. A CEO with Empire 5 is required to form the alliance. So not only the 30 days to create the alliance, but also you got to get it up to Empire Control level 5. And that's where it's going to really be important to have those um, those implants in. You could also do a where you change your base skills on that side character, and then you could also do the daily skills. So I'm betting it would probably take about, if you were to really focus on it, somewhere around 60 days. So I'm sure the Empire control takes longer to go, but you could boost them up faster to have a character ready to roll to create your alliance. Now, while you've got that guy set aside, maybe that's when you start researching how you want to set up your alliance. So it's really kind of a slow burn, but you're working toward it. So I don't know. Hopefully that helps some of you guys out there. Last but not least, and that's alliances. I'll probably talk about it in the future because it is something down the road I'd really like to do. It'd be kind of cool to have, like, almost like the Greek city-states, where you're not part of this huge, massive alliance. You're just this loose formation of an alliance that just works to help each other. Um, Last but not least, I had thought about yesterday. I had so much fun um, with the video that I made, and while I was playing, and if you see at the end, I was just super happy, and I'm still kind of on that high right now because everything just clicked perfectly. And you have those frustrating days, but yesterday I'd gotten done with work, and then I just had so much fun playing for that time that I recorded. I thought about putting up there, not naming it the daily thing, like with my dates that I've been doing recently, and putting on there, ooh, got a kill, blah, 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 blah. But it didn't happen until like 15 minutes into the video. And I'm not about, and I'll talk about this briefly, I'm not about trying to get more views. I just want to do a daily diary of here. And so I didn't put that out there on purpose. So guys who have actually watched and are watching the videos, um, I've gotten some really great feedback, and I have had videos that hit over 2,000 views before, but they're short views because I might have put something in the title that got people to watch it. And then nobody ever comes back to watch those things. Um, Things like this today, I kind of like because I'm just throwing it up there, and if you want to watch it, you can. If not, it's more of like a blog or a daily podcast, but me trying to kill things. So, um, what do I got for us today? Well, I'm going to be watching some football. I'm going to be playing some Eve. I'm going to be doing a little bit of maintenance with my blueprints, and then maybe looking for another PvP fight either late tonight or tomorrow. Um, so that's what I got going on. Uh, Talked a lot yesterday. I talked a lot right now. Hope you guys are having a great day, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you so much for all the comments, the mails. I've gotten a couple more of those in games, so that's awesome. You can also join the Discord channel. Don't just worry about talking to me. If there's somebody else in out here, we've also got the Five Bones channel in game. That's actually had more people in it than normal lately. There's nobody in it right now, though. um, but hey, fly safe, fly dangerously, fly however you want, and I will talk to you guys soon. Have a good one. Bye bye.